Hey everyone, welcome back. In this hands-on lab, we are going to create Cloud Bigtable using Terraform. So for that, as usual, we are going to go to GCP folder and create a new folder. Let's name it Bigtable. And inside Bigtable, we are going to copy somewhere from, for example, SQL, and copy case.json, main.tf, and provider.tf. And let's paste it inside Bigtable. And here we can delete all the resources inside main.tf, so we can start from here. You can see the provider.tf. We have Google provider as usual, and we have case.json, and we already provide inside a provider.tf here credentials, you can see. So before we start, let's go to Terraform registry page, and you can go to Cloud Bigtable, and you can see the several resources here. So the first thing that we need is Google Bigtable instance resource block. You can see the example usage here. Google Bigtable instance. This is a simple example, simple instance. You can see the replicated instance. And when we go to argument reference, you can see the required arguments, name and cluster are the required. We can specify instance type, display name, direction protection, labels, cluster. You can see the cluster block support the following arguments: cluster ID, zone, and number of nodes, and auto scaling config, minimum number of nodes, maximum number of nodes, and CPU target. It's saying here the warning: only one of auto scaling config or num nodes should be set for a cluster. If both are set, num node is not ignored. So as you can see, we have to use either auto scaling config or num nodes because there will be some conflict. So let's get to work. And the first thing that we need to do is basically let's go and start creating resource, and we are going to name it, hold on a second. Yeah, so let me go back here. Yeah, the first thing we need to do is to give the name. As you know, the name is Google Bigtable instance, and let's give the instance name. So let's say Bigtable from TF script. That's a long name, but it's okay. Let's give the name here, and the name would be Bigtable, let's say with TF here. And the next thing is, for example, we can provide the deletion protection to false, so we can destroy our resource after we create it. So we can also provide labels. Let's say the labels Bigtable. This is just an example. You can use other names for that. Let's say testing TF. And another argument which you have to provide is that's a required one is cluster. You can see cluster includes cluster ID. Let's say BT. Let's go to Terraform registry page, and here let's look at the cluster, and in the example usage you can see TF instance cluster. So it doesn't matter, we can give some name. Let's give this name Bigtable with TF, and let's here use this, and at the end we use the cluster, or we can simply use the really simple name TF cluster. So the second thing that we need to provide is simply the number of nodes. Let's specify 1 for now, and we can also provide storage type. Let's say we provide there are two types of storage, like SSD and HDD. I think the SSD is a default. Let me go and see the argument here. Let's go here. You can see the storage type HDD. Let's use the, okay, let's start with using SSD. And I think this is enough for the Google Bigtable instance. And let's run it and see. Then after that we can create a table. So let's now go to the directory cd Bigtable, and let's run Terraform init. And before we run Terraform apply, you have to go to the service account. Here I am admin role, to go to IAM, and you need to provide Bigtable administration role. So you can go to your service account and click on edit principal and simply add another role. And you can, for example, I have already provided Bigtable administrator role, so you can click on select role, and here if you search Bigtable, you will see Bigtable administrator, which has a full access to all Bigtable resources and ability to assign Bigtable or resources. So just provide it and click on save. Okay, then you can go to Visual Studio Code. It's still initializing, so after initializing you can simply run Terraform plan and Terraform apply. So what else we can use? You can see we have a big Google Bigtable table, so we can also create this after we create our instance, Bigtable instance. So let's go here and run Terraform fmt to format our code, and let's run Terraform plan and let's run Terraform apply. So from yes, so you can see we are basically creating Bigtable instance, and inside the instance we are creating cluster. You can see apply is complete, one added. Let's go to Google Cloud Platform and let's go to Bigtable in database section. Bigtable, let's go Bigtable, and here you can see we have a Bigtable instance, which is Bigtable with TF, and let's click on it. You can see the number of nodes 1. So you can see we have a Bigtable TF instance, and inside this instance we have TF cluster. You can see the number of nodes 1, and you can also see the storage type SSD, and you can see instance ID here, so you can see CPU utilization. You can also click on TF cluster, and you can see some details about the cluster. You can monitor. So let's go back and let me show you the tables. You can see we don't have any tables, so you can, let's create using the Visual Studio Code, like the Terraform script. So let's go Terraform registry page. You can see you can go to Cloud Bigtable table and see you have we have the example usage. So let's copy it, and you can go here simply and paste it here. So we are using the name, let's say TF table, TF my table, let's say, and here we are giving the name TF my table, and we need to provide the instance. So instance is Google Bigtable instance dot name, and you can also provide the split case. You can see ABC, this is just an example, and you can also provide the lifecycle rule to prevent true, but we don't need it for now because we want to destroy. So let's run Terraform plan, and you can see we are creating Google Bigtable table. My table will be created, so let's run Terraform apply and let's confirm it. Yes, Yeah, apply is complete. Resources one added. Let's go to Cloud Bigtable, and here simply let's refresh the page, and you will see the table that we created using Terraform script. As you can see, tf my table, you can see it's ready. We don't have any backups for now, so you can click on the table and you can see some details about the table. When you click on it, you can see the status, table ID, and storage utilization. So this is how you can create Cloud Bigtable with Terraform. So you can go to Terraform registry page and try and practice more with some other arguments. So see you in the next video.